Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. This is Stephen Ray, and I wanted to come on and do yet another drive home forecast for you guys. And as you can see, there are a lot of showers and a lot of thunderstorms around the area today, and it is quite mild out there with highs in the 70s and low 80s around the area right now. So let's go on ahead real quick and take a look at your drive home forecast. And as you can see, the majority of the rain right now is in North Alabama, and it is also in West Alabama. And as you can see, if you are traveling down here on your drive home in between the Aliceville and Reform area on 17, which runs basically from Cochran all the way up to the city of Reform, Alabama, over here in Pickens County. Just note that there are going to be a couple of showers and thunderstorms that are moving between the Aliceville, Carrollton, and Reform area, heading towards that way on your drive home. You could also be impacted if you were in Pickens County around the Highway 82 corridor as well, going from the Mississippi state line all the way down towards the Tuscaloosa metro area, because this stuff in southern Pickens County is moving towards the north and towards the east as well. So if you were, like I said, if you were down here along the 17 corridor, basically from the Geiger community down in Sumter County all the way up to the Reform area, you're going to be impacted by showers and thunderstorms as well. And if you are in the Tuscaloosa metro area, there are a few light showers over the Tuscaloosa airport and over the West End area near Stillman Boulevard and into downtown Tuscaloosa. And those could be impacting your drive home, just simply from the standpoint that there are going to be a little bit of slick roads. But as you zoom out, you will see that there is trying to be some storms that are trying out of Mississippi to move towards the Tuscaloosa area. So this evening could be a wet one, with this stuff around York and Livingston moving off towards the north and the east up the interstate towards the Tuscaloosa area. Now let's move into far northern Alabama and northwest Alabama. And if you are along the I-22 corridor, basically from the city of Hamilton and points off to the southeast, you are going to impact a lot of heavy rain. Now, if you are in the city of Hamilton, it looks like the majority of this is going to be off to your south and towards your east, especially if you are along the 278 corridor or Baxter Avenue. That's going to be where the area of concern is going to be. But as you can see, if you are in the city of Hamilton right now, your drive home is going to be rather dry, because all of this is off to your east and towards your southeast. However, if you come down here towards a point down here towards the Carbon Hill area, Winfield, along the 118 corridor, or if you're traveling along the I-22 corridor in between the Carbon Hill and Jasper area, also towards the Eldridge area, there's a band of intense heavy rain. And especially if you are in between Hamilton and Jasper on your drive home towards the I-22 corridor, which I'm sorry, Tupelo, Mississippi, and then really getting up towards the Memphis. Now, as we move up here into northern Alabama, you can see that in the Tennessee Valley, there are some showers and thunderstorms along the 72 corridor around the Florence area. There's also an area of showers close to the 43 corridor up here in the Florence, Tuscumbia, and Muscle Shoals area, also the Sheffield area. So just note that there's going to be a wet drive home in the Shoals area if you are along the 43 or 72 corridor, or if you're heading towards the 157 corridor, moving towards the south and the east. out of Muscle Shoals going towards the Moulton area in North Alabama. Also over here towards the Decatur area and the Priceville area, there's a couple of showers and moderate to heavy rain falling right here near Wheeler Lake along the 65 corridor or the 565 corridor, or once again along the 24 corridor or the 72 corridor around the Decatur, Alabama area. And now let me zoom out and put on the high top radar for the Huntsville metro area. And as you can see, there are some showers that are over here towards the Madison and the Oakland, Alabama area, but the city of Huntsville and downtown is rather dry at the moment. But showers and thunderstorms, showers have been off and on throughout the day, so there is going to be some slick roads if you're traveling or leaving the Redstone Arsenal heading into the city of Huntsville, or if you're traveling towards the Madison, Alabama area, or if you're traveling over here towards the Gurley or the Paint Rock, Alabama area down the 72 corridor towards the Guntersville, Alabama area. And as you can see over here towards the Guntersville area, nothing is going on. There's also not much going on in northeast Alabama towards the Bridgeport area or the Stevenson area. And let's go a little bit further off to the south and look at Fort Payne, and there's not really much going on. However, there were a couple of showers earlier that have gone out of Valley Head and moved over into Georgia and Tennessee. So just note, if you're traveling from Fort Payne up to Chattanooga towards the Valley Head area up 59, there could be a couple of showers and thunder, a couple of slick spots because of the showers earlier. Now, if you're traveling down here towards the Gadsden and Anniston area, there are a couple of showers north of the city of Anniston that probably will not impact Anniston. However, they will impact the Gadsden and Attala area over here towards the Hawks Bluff area along the 278 corridor. And also, if you are down here towards the Rainbow City area or the 431 corridor that basically runs into the city of Gadsden, or the 759 corridor from between Attala and Gadsden, there could be a couple of light showers that comes in from the southwest that could impact your drive home. But once again, this is going to be extremely light, but it will cause a little bit of wetness on the road. So make sure that you take extra precautions in driving home. And let's look at the 20 corridor in between Oxford, Anniston, and the Pell City area. And there are still a couple of showers over here just off to the south and to the west of Oxford, over here towards the Talladega Superspeedway and the Lincoln, Alabama area. So just note, if you're traveling along the 59 corridor, or if you're traveling along the 20 corridor right now, and that is going to be east and northeast of the city of Birmingham, there could be just a couple of slick spots with a few spotty light showers for North Alabama and East Alabama. Now let's zoom in here and look at this storm near the Lineville area. So if you're near Ashland or the Lineville area, coming up the corridor there of 9 or the 431 corridor, just note that there's going to be a couple of showers and thunderstorms to deal with for your drive home, but everything along the 231 corridor looks to be dry if you're traveling between Childersburg and the Alexander City area. Also, if you're traveling near the Goodwater area or the Sylacauga area or Talladega Springs, everything is going to be dry for your area. Now, let's get down here closer to the Montgomery Metro. And the Montgomery Metro yesterday afternoon was a nightmare. However, the good news is that it's not the case this afternoon, as the majority of the storms are up here towards the Tallahassee and the Electric area, and not especially in the downtown Montgomery area. And let me just go ahead and pop on the Montgomery radar just to show you from a closer perspective. There's not really that much going on around the Montgomery area. And as you can see, it is 86 degrees in Montgomery, and the majority of the storms are over here outside of Montgomery, off to the east, over here towards Tuskegee, Auburn, and Opelika. However, if you are traveling in the area near the Auburn University or Auburn, there is a couple of showers and thunderstorms that are along the 147 corridor or along the 85 corridor in between Auburn and Opelika, especially down here if you are towards the Auburn University area or the Duggar Farms area along the 147 corridor or the 14 corridor going west out of Auburn. This storm is basically right over the university right now. It has pushed over across the 85 corridor coming from University Estates over the Auburn University right now. So just note, if you are down here in the Auburn Opelika area, it's going to be a wet drive home, not necessarily from rain, but previous rain that has left the area that could impact some roadways as you drive home around the Auburn area. Also, if you are near the Tuskegee area along the 29 corridor, or if you're along the 2980 corridor going between Pleasant Hill and Tuskegee, Alabama, there are going to be a couple of wet spots on the roads down there. And now let's move a little bit further off to the south near the Troy area. And unfortunately for you down here around the Brundridge, Alabama area or the Troy, Alabama area, if you're traveling south or if you're traveling east out of Troy along the 29 corridor or the 231 corridor, it is going to be a rather wet drive home for you. However, if you're heading west, it looks like it is going to be a little bit dry if you're heading over here towards the Alstee area or the Good Hope, Alabama area down there near Troy. However, there are a couple of showers and thunderstorms near the Luverne area and basically in between Luverne, Goshen, and Troy, Alabama. So let's take another look and go a little bit further off south and check on our friends near the Dothan, Enterprise, Andalusia, and Opp area. And as you can see outside of the Dothan area, if you are in the Dothan area and you are traveling towards the Midland City area, if you're heading towards the Cowarts area, or if you're heading south towards the Florida state line, no rain is going to be impacted for you. However, if you're traveling from Dothan west off the 84 corridor and you come over here towards the Daleville area, the level plains, or the Enterprise area, you are going to impact some rain and thunderstorms, and especially if you are from Enterprise over towards the Andalusia area and Opp, because Opp is being impacted with a lot of heavy rain, and especially if you are along the 87 corridor or the Highway 84 corridor in between Enterprise, Elba, and then Opp. And just note that there's going to be some extremely heavy rain as this actual stuff is moving off to the south. So just note, if you are over here towards the Danley's Crossroads area, the Elba area, or the Opp area, there's going to be an extremely heavy rain for your area. Andalusia is pretty much dry right now. Also, Sanford is also dry down here in South Alabama. But just note, one more time, if you're traveling in between Enterprise on 84 and the Opp area, as you cross over the Crossroads area going down towards the Opp area on Highway 84, it is going to be a wet drive for you along the 84 corridor coming out of Enterprise and into Opp. And one more stop, here we go in Alabama. We are going to check in along the 43 corridor here in South Alabama, also along the 84 corridor. And as you can see, there's a lot of moderate to heavy rain falling from basically Grove Hill over to Monroeville and Evergreen, Alabama. And then there's more heavy rain that's falling down here towards the Atmore area and the Bruton area, and especially down here if you are down here in northern Baldwin County, just note that there's going to be a lot of heavy rain for your area if you're traveling along the 59 corridor, or if you're traveling along the 43 corridor in between McIntosh, Mount Vernon, and then eventually let me zoom out and show you that it is also impacting the Jackson area across the southern portions there of Clark County. Just note that on 43, it is going to be an absolute nightmare. However, if you are near the Mobile Pritchard area, it looks like the rain is moving out of the area for now. So that is the good news. However, if you're over here in the Bay Minette area or along the I-65 corridor in northern Mobile or northern Baldwin counties, it is going to be a wet truck home, basically from Saraland and Satsuma all the way up to the Greenville area and into the southern portions of the Montgomery metro area. And especially if you're traveling home around the Monroeville area, just note that there's going to be some heavy rain and moderate rain that moves into the area, especially down here in between the Frisco City area and Monroeville, Alabama. So that is the situation that we have ongoing right now. We have a lot of rain moving into the area, and no, this does not have anything to do with Tropical Storm Elisa. This is with a separate system that is back over here in southern Mississippi that is pushing all of the rain across the area here in West Alabama, South Alabama, and Northwest Alabama. The only dry area right now that looks to be is basically over here from basically a point near the Alexander City area all the way into the Birmingham metro. Everybody else is pretty much under rain, especially if you are over here towards the Auburn area and north of Tuskegee, and also over here towards the West Alabama area in Pickens Green and Pickens Green and Sumter counties down here in West and Southwest Alabama. So, guys, in Alabama, I am about to sign off here, and I wanted to also mention that I will not be doing a drive home forecast tomorrow, and the reason that I won't be is because I am having some surgery tomorrow, so I will not be available to do the drive home forecast tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it on Friday. I hope to be able to do it on Friday, fingers crossed. But once again, I will not be able to do a drive home forecast for tomorrow, which is Thursday. So, guys, I hope that you have a great rest of your Wednesday evening. Thursday. I hope you have a great day. And as always, God bless. My plans are for Alabama to do another drive home forecast for you guys, depending on how well I do in surgery on Friday. So, guys, take care. And as always, God bless. If you are watching me from Mississippi, I'm about to sign off in Alabama, and we will move over to Mississippi shortly. Alright, guys, I just wanted to make sure that I was live over here in Mississippi, and I want to thank all of you guys for joining me here as we have yet another drive home forecast for you guys, and there is a ton of rain across the Mississippi area, and unfortunately, we have some major flooding problems that are ongoing right now in the city of Jackson, Mississippi, and especially if you are in the southern portions of the city of Jackson, Mississippi. So let me go on ahead down here and zoom in here towards the Jackson, Mississippi area, and Jackson, Mississippi National Weather Service has issued a ton of flash flood warnings for the central Mississippi area, and I'm actually going to read those off to you right now. Now, there is currently flash flooding ongoing right now in the city and town of Pickens, Mississippi, which is in Holmes County, Mississippi. And this was just recorded 1 second ago from law enforcement agencies. Flash flooding, multiple streets flooded in the town of Pickens in Holmes County, Mississippi. Now, there's also some flooding that is going on, multiple reports of street flooding in South Jackson, which is in Hinds County, Mississippi. Also in Clinton, Mississippi, street flooding and water into yards. Okay, so here are the actual counties in Mississippi that are underneath flash flood warnings until 5:15. If you are in Attala, Holmes, Leake, Madison, Neshoba, or Yazoo City, Mississippi, those are the flash flood warnings that are in place for your area until 5:15, because radar amounts of 3 to 4 inches of an hour have been reported. There's also a couple of thunderstorms and flooding that's going on in the Forest Hill area, which is in Hinds County, Mississippi, straight flooding. Also, once again, the Clinton area, as it says, 1 to 2 feet of water across roads. They are in the Kentwood subdivision. They are in Clinton, Mississippi. So this is a major situation for the Jackson, Mississippi area, and this includes the downtown area, also the Clinton, Mississippi area as well. And of course, there is also flash flooding being reported in the Winston County, Mississippi area and the Louisville, Mississippi area, with streets flooded in downtown Louisville. So once again, we have a flash flood warning until 5:15 for Hinds and Rankin County, Mississippi. We also have a flash flood warning for the same time for Attala, Holmes, Leake, Madison, Neshoba, and Yazoo County, Mississippi, and this goes until 5:15. There are also other flash flood advisories for George County down there in South Mississippi, and that comes from the National Weather Service in Mobile. So there's a lot of flooding ongoing right now in the Jackson, Mississippi metro area, and especially if you are down here towards the Richland or the Clinton, Mississippi area. And I can actually put this into motion, and unfortunately, the rain and thunderstorms are just sitting over the same areas. However, it has gotten a lot lighter, but nonetheless, rain is still falling along the 220 corridor or the I-55 corridor, but going both north and south out of the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. Also, if you're traveling along the 20 corridor west or the 20 corridor east, you've got rain falling, and especially over the Brandon, Mississippi area for flash flooding. Now, there are other storms in progress over here towards the Carthage, Mississippi area, the Kosciuszko, Mississippi area, the Philadelphia, Mississippi area, and the Yazoo City, Mississippi area along the 49 corridor. And I can actually zoom in here and show you what it looks like in Yazoo City, Mississippi right now. And there's a lot of heavy rain, and especially if you're traveling along the 49 East corridor or the 49 West corridor, going north and south out of Yazoo City. Also, if you're traveling along the 16 corridor towards the Benton, Mississippi area, or if you're traveling along the 49 corridor going down towards the Little Yazoo, Mississippi area, there's a lot of heavy rain and thunderstorms that are impacting your area down there as well. There are also some other storms of concern over here across the Mississippi River near the Delta National Forest, over here towards the Candace Landing and the Little Sunflower, Mississippi area along the 61 corridor over here in the Delta of Mississippi. And so that's what we've got ongoing right now. Now, the Vicksburg area, the good news is yesterday the Vicksburg area got a lot of heavy rain towards the afternoon and evening hours. However, Vicksburg is rather dry at the moment for your drive home, and that is some good news for our friends over here towards the Rose Hill or the Vicksburg, Mississippi area. Now let's take a look at our friends down here towards the Natchez, Mississippi area, and unfortunately more rain and thunderstorms are impacting your area down here along the Mississippi River down here in Natchez, Mississippi. Whether you're traveling on 61 going either way, it is going to be a wet drive for you down here in the Natchez, Mississippi area, as the air temperature currently is 73 degrees. And there are more storms down here as you get closer to the Louisiana and Arkansas state line down here towards the southern portions of Mississippi. Now, as you can see, there's also some showers and thunderstorms in progress just north of the 98 corridor over here towards the Summit and Macomb, Mississippi area. Also, if you are near the Bogue Château, Mississippi area, and this one is south of Brookhaven, Mississippi. So if you're traveling along the 84 corridor, basically going from south of Brookhaven over towards the Prentiss and Monticello, Mississippi area, your drive home could be impacted from this complex of storms that is down here north of the city of Macomb. Now, if we get over here towards the heart of the Pine Belt, towards the Columbia area, and also down here towards the Summerall, Bassfield, and Seminary, Mississippi area, you are going to be impacted by heavy rain and moderate rain if you were up here towards the Collins area or Seminary. However, if you are traveling home in the Hattiesburg, Mississippi area along the 98 corridor or along the 589 corridor in the city of Hattiesburg, West Hattiesburg, or Petal, just note that there are some heavy showers and thunderstorms that are moving out of the area towards the Columbia area and moving east towards the Hattiesburg area. So your drive home is going to be rather wet. But the good news is for our friends down here in Purvis, it looks like that your threat of rain is going to be a little bit off to your north. But if you're traveling out of Purvis heading up towards the Hattiesburg area, just note that there's going to be some showers and thunderstorms that do impact your area. And now let's go a little bit further off to the south towards the immediate coast of Mississippi, and everything is pretty much north of the area down there for southern Mississippi. So if you are along the immediate coast, basically along the I-10 corridor or along the Highway 90 corridor down there from Waveland, Mississippi, all the way over to Pascagoula, I can put this radar into motion for you, and as you can see, there is very little to nothing on the radar, so your drive home along the immediate coast line in Mississippi is going to be rain-free, no problems, and dry for your drive home. Also, if you are traveling along the 59 corridor up here towards the Picayune, Mississippi area, your drive home is going to be dry as well. Now let's go a little bit further off to the north and check on our friends up here towards the Meridian, Mississippi area. Also, the Ellisville and Laurel, Mississippi area, and your drive home is going to be wet, as we have rain and thunderstorms that are still ongoing coming over here from the Collins, Mississippi area, and that batch of rain will end up over here towards the Ellisville and the Laurel area towards your drive home within the next 30 to 45 minutes. And then there's a batch of storms that are coming up here towards the Quitman, Mississippi area along the 145 corridor over here towards the Enterprise and Stonewall areas. So if you're traveling home within the next 30 to 45 minutes around the Meridian area, just note that there are a couple of thunderstorms that could impact your area down here towards the Quitman area as they continue to push on off to the north and to the east. Now let's go a little bit further off to the north and go up here towards the Highway 82 corridor. And if you guys are in East Mississippi, towards the Starkville area, towards the Louisville, Mississippi area, or the Columbus, Mississippi area along the 82 corridor in East Mississippi, the rain is a little bit more scattered over here towards the Starkville area and north of Columbus, going up here towards the 45 corridor, coming up here towards the Aberdeen, Mississippi area. However, there is a batch of rain that just dissipated over the Starkville area, and especially if you're along 82 going in between Starkville and Eupora, you could impact a couple of light showers heading towards the Matheson and the Eupora, Mississippi area. Also down here towards the Artesa area, it is going to be dry for your drive home. However, if you are in the Louisville area over towards the Macon, Mississippi area, or if you're further west towards the Kosciuszko, Mississippi area, your drive home is going to be rather wet with moderate hit to light to moderate rain falling over your locations right now as you drive home up the 12 corridor in between Kosciuszko and Starkville, or if you're along the 25 corridor heading from Starkville down to Louisville, and then eventually getting down here towards the Carthage, Mississippi area as well. Now let's look at the western portions of the Highway 82 corridor, and as you can see, there's more of a complex of storms that has popped up north of the Greenwood, Mississippi area, over here towards the Itta-Bena, Mississippi area, and especially along the 49 East corridor or the 82 corridor coming in and out of the city of Greenwood, Mississippi. Also over here towards the Winona area, just note that there are some showers and thunderstorms in between Greenwood and Winona, Mississippi this afternoon. And let's go a little bit further off to the north near the Memphis metro area, and let me cut on the Memphis radar for you guys. And basically, if you are in the Memphis metro area, because I know a lot of the Memphis people do work and live in South Haven, Olive Branch, or Horn Lake, Mississippi, also as far south as Hernando, your drive home around the Memphis area is pretty much going to be rain-free. It is going to be rather warm out there, though, as highs right now is currently 88 degrees in Memphis and also 88 degrees in West Memphis. However, nothing is on the radar. The closest rain is going to be west of the Holly Springs, Mississippi area. There's also a couple of showers towards the Ripley, Mississippi area. Nothing is going on much along the I-22 corridor in between Holly Springs and the New Albany, Mississippi area. And there's a couple of showers and thunderstorms here south of Oxford that are close to the Taylor, Mississippi area and the Water Valley, Mississippi area down here in the northern portions of Mississippi. So that is the situation that we have ongoing right now in the heart of Mississippi. Once again, there is still a lot of flooding that is going on across the southern portions of the Jackson, Mississippi metro, and especially from the corridor towards Jackson over here to the Clinton, Mississippi area. So that is the situation that we have ongoing. I will put up the radar one more time for you guys down here in the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. And the rain continues to dissipate, but it is rather slowly. But once again, the rain and the flash flood warning does continue in effect until 5:15 for flooding around the Jackson and Clinton, Mississippi area. So take it extra easy out there. And if you do impact flooded roads around the southern portions of Jackson or over towards the Clinton, Mississippi area, please turn around. Do not drown. It is very foolish to try to drive your car through flooded roadways. So please take action if you see flooded roads and go another direction. So that is the situation that we have inside the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. I will continue to monitor the latest weather information, and if anything happens to become more problematic for the Jackson, Mississippi metro area, I will be right back here on social media providing you guys with full updates. But guys, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday evening as it is currently 4:37. Hope you guys have a safe drive home. I will not be doing a drive home forecast for your Thursday because I'm actually having a little bit of surgery done. Fingers crossed that I can get back to see you guys on Friday for your drive home forecast. But just know, tomorrow I will not be available to do a drive home forecast. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday, a great Thursday, and as always, God bless.